Hello and welcome to Author Talk with me, LG Thompson. Now the idea behind Author Talk is that on Tuesdays I'll be answering some of the questions that authors very often get asked by readers and giving a little bit of insight into author life. And on Fridays I'll be sharing some of my favourite books with you. So don't forget to like the channel and subscribe. Thank you. Today we're going to have a little desk tour. Now, I have to admit, when I first heard about the idea of desk tours, I thought that's quite strange. Why would anybody want to see a desk? But when I looked at my desk and looked with a fresh eye what had accumulated around about it, I thought actually it's quite an interesting idea. So let's go take a look at my desk. Okay, so here's my desk, here's where it all happens. There's my laptop there, it's just an old cheapo desk. Lots of pens lying around. It's actually quite tidy just now, mainly because I knew I was going to be doing this, and so I cleared quite a few things out of the way. As you'll see, I've got lots of post-it notes on the window. I'll maybe talk about those on another day. Just now, I just want to kind of zoom in here, this little collection of things. As we can see, there's got little insects. This, I don't know, you might think it's a bit gross. I find it quite interesting. This was actually a filling that fell out of my tooth. Yeah, but what, oh yeah, a couple of little, there's a little skull, little zombie head, that's my big specs, my big reading specs. But what I really wanted to talk about today was this lovely object. This is actually a painting on a stone, and it's been painted by an artist called Peter White. So I'm just going to take a closer look at the painting there. You see it's on a stone. So Peter's a really, really interesting artist, and one of the many projects he's involved with is like these stones. What he does is he goes up mountains and he collects stones. A part of what he does is he goes by how they feel in his hand. And he writes in the back where they've come from. I don't know if you can read that there. This one's actually come from Anchellach, which is just south of where I am in Ullapool. Anchellach is quite an extraordinary looking mountain, and when I catch sight of it when I'm on the road coming north, when I'm coming home, it's like, yeah, that's the first sign for me, like that home is just beyond Anchellach. So it's always really exciting for me to see. And what Peter does is he collects the stones and then he does paintings on them, and then he gifts the stones to people, these little stone paintings, and you keep them for a while. A while is undefined, it's up to each individual. And then once you've had it, you return it to Peter, and then he takes the stone and he returns it to the mountain. And this is the second one of Peter's stones that I've had. The first one, it was a book painted on a stone. And it was while I was working on Modernist Dreams, Brutalist Nightmares that I was gifted this stone from him. And what I decided, it was a really, really lovely shape, really lovely to hold. And it was this open book, and it really just kind of spoke to me. And what I did was, I would keep holding it, because that book was quite tough to write. And when I was going through the editing process, I would hold the stone. And I'm not a very woo person really, but there was just something very nice about it. Maybe something grounding, something comforting. I'm not sure what it was really, but I kind of felt that when I took the stone from him, it was to do with that book. So what I did was I kept this stone with me all the way through the editing process, and I decided that I would return it to Peter on the day that the book was launched. We had a big launch party for it here in Ullapool, and the person who hosted that, who chaired the event, was Eleanor White, who's also an artist, and she's Peter's wife. And I returned the stone to Peter that day, and what you have to do is when you give it back, you dedicate the stone to someone. Peter writes their name on the back, and then he takes the stone and returns it to the mountain. And I gave him my granddad's name because my granddad was in this book. And Peter sent me some photographs of the stone being returned, and then they just sit there. the painting gets weathered away, it erodes, the stone returns to its stone form. I don't know, there's something really kind of just quite beautiful about this, like all of this work and detail that goes into it, and then it's just gone. So I kind of like, I really enjoyed having this little painting around. I kind of missed it when it was gone, but I knew that it had to go back. It was time for it to go back, but I did kind of miss it. And so when I came to work in Bitter Fruit, like I asked Peter if I could come along and visit and choose another stone. And of course he agreed to that because he's a lovely guy. And along I went, and what I chose was this candle stone. Well, it's an unlit candle. It's been lit. It's not lit at the moment. The light has gone out. The flame has been doused. I don't know if any of that's significant. Like the first stone was an open book, and the second one that I chose was a doused candle. So there's a Scottish poet called Don Patterson, and he says, if you read a poem slowly enough and carefully enough, you will find many things that are not there. And you can say that about painting. So I might be reading too much into it, but for whatever reason, I chose the open book and then I chose the candle. And I thought I would do the same thing. I thought I would keep it with me while I was editing the book and then give it back to Peter and he could return it to the mountain. And I even thought that I knew whose name I wanted to put on the back of it. The book was published in May 2024 and I still have the stone. I don't know why, but it's not time to return it yet. I don't know how I'll know, but I will know when the time is. So I just wanted to share this to you because I just thought it's a really lovely project and just a really nice thing to have like sitting around. So I hope you enjoyed that first little desk tour. It's the first desk tour I've ever done. You've seen one of my fillings, you've seen some beasties and perspex, and you've seen a beautiful stone painting. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Author Talk. Bye.